Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In today's episode, airport passenger numbers continue to soar at Daytona Beach International Airport. Recovery efforts are still going strong throughout the county, and we have a chance to preview the annual candlelight tours at DeBary Hall. Plus, Joanne Magley talks with Fire Chief Jeff Smith. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. It's a continued climb for passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport. This despite dozens of canceled flights due to Hurricane Matthew. Passenger traffic at the county-run airport increased 3.6% for October in comparison with October of last year. During the month, more than 51,000 passengers flew in or out of the county-operated airport when compared with more than 49,027 passengers with last October. For the 12 months ending October 31st, total passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport increased 10.7%, with more than 624,000 passengers traveling through the facility last year, compared to just over 691,000 passengers this year. This month marks the 12th consecutive month of year-over-year passenger traffic increases. Jake Hassens, Business Development Director for Daytona Beach International Airport, said the airport would have seen a much greater growth for October if operations weren't disrupted by the hurricane.
The fall months, September and October, are some of our slowest months of the year. It's just across the board, industry-wide. It's just not a real busy travel month, but we still saw positive increases, even again with the 36 flights that were canceled. It brought our overall passenger numbers down. We were at 51,000 total passengers for the month of October. We're almost at 700,000 passengers for the year, which we haven't seen that type of growth since 2007. So it's a very positive sign heading into the holiday season.
Currently, 3 airlines serve Daytona Beach International Airport: JetBlue, which offers daily nonstop service to New York City; Delta, which offers nonstop service to Atlanta; and American, which flies nonstop to Charlotte. For flight and ticket information, you can visit flydab.com. Recovery efforts from Hurricane Matthew are continuing throughout the county. Residents with damage from Hurricane Matthew are reminded the Disaster Recovery Center, or the DRC, continues to operate at the Florida Department of Health, which is located at 1845 Holsenbach Drive in Daytona Beach. Hours at the DRC are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Residents can also visit any of the county's 13 library branches to apply for FEMA assistance online. If residents do not have a library card, a guest pass will be issued to use the public access computers. People also can bring their own equipment and access the free Wi-Fi to complete the online FEMA application. The deadline to register for FEMA assistance is December 16th. Only one registration per household is necessary. The massive cleanup from all of the debris left behind by Hurricane Matthew is also continuing throughout the county.
Of course, we've had a monumental amount of debris throughout Volusia County, and you know, they're doing the best they can. We've got a great company that's out there with a lot of equipment doing the pickup. So I know for some folks it's not quick enough, but you know, when you think of the magnitude of the storm that we had, pretty significant Category 1 with Category 2 winds, you know, we had a lot of debris all over Volusia County. So given the amount of debris that we are where we are, I feel that there's been a tremendous effort on a lot of people's hard work.
Public Works officials estimate more than 761,500 cubic yards of debris has been collected from the county-maintained roads. The second and final pass for the storm-related debris collection from county-maintained roads began this week. Residents are reminded to have all storm-related debris out on the public right-of-way to ensure that it gets collected. Residents must continue to separate vegetated debris from construction and demolition debris. Bagged debris will not be collected and should not be placed in the right-of-way with debris piles. For more information about the DRC or for Hurricane Matthew recovery information, you can call Volusia County Emergency Management at 386-258-4088 or visit volusia.org/pin. Here's a look at some events happening around Volusia County. For more events and county news, visit volusia.org. If you haven't checked out DeBary Hall Historic Site yet, well, here's a great opportunity to do so. The stately 19th century hunting lodge will offer candlelight tours on 2 upcoming Saturday nights. The warm glow will accentuate the lodge's historic treasures and Christmas decorations. As visitors stroll through the enchanting rooms, Christmas music will play in the background.
I'm very excited to be hosting the annual DeBary Hall Candlelight Christmas Tour. Guests will come, they'll get to tour the mansion in candlelight. We have 11 large Christmas trees on the main floor and 7 smaller trees upstairs. Wreaths and all sorts of other festive adornments throughout the mansion. After the tour, we will serve cider and hot chocolate and European cookies. And there will be docents stationed in all the rooms to answer questions and tell them a little bit of the history of the mansion.
The candlelight tours will be offered at 6 and 7 p.m. December 10th and 17th. Advance tickets must be purchased. You can call DeBary Hall at 386-668-3840. And if you're in the mood for live Christmas music, the Volusia County Public Libraries have got you covered. The Beachside Brass Quintet will present a holiday concert at 3 p.m. on Saturday, December 10th at the Daytona Beach Regional Library at City Island. Stetson University's String and Piano Quintet will perform from 2 to 3 p.m. Sunday, December 11th at the Daytona Regional Library. The New Smyrna Beach Regional Library will host 2 holiday concerts. The Southeast Volusia Community Choir will perform at 5:30 p.m. Tuesday, December 13th. And country crooner Karen Collins will perform country classics and holiday music at 2 p.m. Thursday, December 22nd. The libraries have many other holiday programs planned, including crafts and story times. You can check it out at the library's calendar at volusialibrary.org. Are you getting ready to host guests for the holidays and looking for something to do? This week on Volusia Here and Now, we'll join Shelley Safranek as she visits a place that draws thousands annually to our area.
It's the place that has birthed legends. At Daytona International Speedway, you don't have to be a race car driver to experience the 31-degree high banks. Each day, visitors from around the world are transported into the World Center of Racing during a behind-the-scenes tour.
There are 43 pit stalls, but there is no pit stall number 13. That's a little superstition of Bill Francis.
This is a huge facility, 2.5-mile racetrack. What happens in there, both with stock car racing and sports car racing and motorcycle racing. So depending upon what type of a racing enthusiast you might be or have in your family, you can actually see each of those areas.
With 250 days a year of track activities, there is a good chance during a visit you'll see a little action up close like we did when we visited.
Welcome to Gatorade Victory Lane.
During the tour, a friendly guide shares the history of the Speedway, from its early beginnings in 1957 to present day as the world's first motorsports stadium, as you take everything in while riding an open-air tram. And there are plenty of stops along the way.
So we're here at Gatorade Victory Lane, where no matter what motorsport you're running, this is where you come to be recognized as the winner, and it's part of the tour.
There are 3 different tours offered at the Speedway, and all of them depart from the Ticket and Tours building. The Speedway tour is 30 minutes and takes guests into the infield, offers a rare opportunity to come face to face with the well-known start-finish line and 31-degree high banks, or ride down pit road to get a close-up view of the pit stalls. Makes a stop at Gatorade Victory Lane, continues out across the midway on the front stretch, and ends at the champion Daytona 500 car, which is in the same condition as the day it captured the checkered flag. Following the tour, guests get to explore the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America, which recently relocated to the area from Michigan. If you have a little more time, the 90-minute all-access tour may be appealing. This tour takes you deeper into the world of racing, as it includes all of the stops on the Speedway tour, plus offers unprecedented access to the driver's meeting room and a look inside the world's first motorsports stadium as you hop onto one of the 40 escalators and are transported into the new front stretch stadium for a stunning view of the tri-oval and infield.
The driver meeting room, you can see and experience what NASCAR tells the drivers before each race. So you can do this, you can't do that, here's where you go, here's where you blend in. It's a really neat thing to see what the drivers actually are instructed on before the race. Continues with the tour, then it comes to the front stretch and it stops and goes up into the new stadium. So you can go up and see the things on the new stadium, the escalators, the elevators, the staircases, the grand concourses, and all the different presenting folks that are our partners that you'll see their names across the 5 main entrances to the facility.
The VIP tour is a 3-hour experience like no other. It is for smaller groups and travel is by an air-conditioned bus. It includes the same access as the other 2 tours, plus a visit to the International Speedway Corporation's Archives and Research Center, where many of racing's most treasured artifacts, including Sir Malcolm Campbell's Bluebird 3, are stored.
And that takes you into the history of racing, not only for this track, but also for the other tracks in the area. It's quite interesting to see the stuff that they have over there that you can see and touch with regards to, there's a neat package they give you too when you leave there. It's one thing to make sure that you take a look at is the original rule book, how thin it was, how many few pages it was, and look at the latest rule book that was out and see the difference.
The VIP tour caps off the experience by a visit to the Houston Line press box overlooking the Speedway before concluding with a close-up look at the champion Daytona 500 car and access to the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America. No matter which tour you choose to take at the Speedway, you'll marvel at the action, color, and grandeur of this famous track that has produced motorsports legends for more than half a century. For each of the tours, their days, hours, and prices vary. Tour prices range from $18 to $52. For more information, visit DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com/tours. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Shelley Safranek.
Get ready to start your engines for the Daytona Beach Half Marathon. February 5th, experience the race that takes you to the Speedway Beach and back. Start at the World Center of Racing's flat asphalt track, through beautiful Daytona Beach, over the Halifax River, onto the hard-packed sands of the world's most famous beach, then back to Daytona International Speedway for a checkered flag finish. Register online at DaytonaBeachHalf.com.
Manatees are the gentle giants of Florida's coastal waters and rivers. As they glide gracefully through the waters, they're easy prey for speeding boats and their propellers. Volusia County government is committed to documenting and protecting these beloved marine mammals. We're looking for enthusiastic volunteers to participate in Manatee Watch. It's a program that identifies the presence of manatees in local waterways. Residents who live on the water, spend a lot of time near the water, or are avid boaters are encouraged to become Manatee Watchers. Manatee Watch coordinators will host training sessions at 10 a.m. Saturday, December 10th at the Marine Discovery Center in New Smyrna Beach, and at 10 a.m. Monday, December 19th at the Thomas C. Kelly Administration Center here in DeLand. Manatee Watchers are trained to observe manatee behavior, document manatee sightings, photograph manatees, and sketch scar patterns.
When they come and take our training, our Manatee Watch training, they learn how to document their sightings and how to report the data back to us. And it's really, really helpful for us to have that data.
The Manatee Watch program is open to individuals, families, businesses, and civic organizations.
The manatee population is going up slowly, and when you have more manatees and more boats, you are more likely to have a negative encounter. And so boaters use caution, observe those speed zones, and be on the lookout for manatees, especially this time of year as they're migrating towards their warm water habitats.
To register, you can contact Debbie Wingfield at dwingfield@volusia.org. For more information about manatees and Manatee Watch, you can visit volusiamanatees.org. Just in time for the gift-giving season, the gift of Volusia County beaches.
We have a lot of new and exciting things going on for the 2017 Beach Pass sales. Based on feedback we got from last year, we have come up with a pre-sale option so that you can go ahead and purchase your 2017 Beach Pass before 2017. We've gotten the kinks worked out so that this works out just in time for the holidays, so you can give your loved ones the gift of the beach for a full year.
Now available, 2017 Beach Passes can be purchased at a number of locations that include all beach access ramps. The Beach Toll Operations Office at 2422 South Atlantic Avenue in Daytona Beach Shores, and in West Volusia on both Saturday, December 10th and 17th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Bank of America parking lot located at 230 North Woodland Boulevard in DeLand. Passes can be purchased with cash or with debit or credit card. Checks are not accepted. For Volusia County residents, proof of residency is needed with a driver's license, vehicle registration, or proof of property ownership, which can include a tax bill or homeowners or condo insurance. However, you can also buy a voucher online for you or for a friend to redeem at the beach access ramps. Attendants will verify their residency documents at that time and apply the pass to their windshield.
Another option that we have now is we've made our passes renewable. So instead of having to scrape your old pass off every year, now we can just reload your renewable pass. If you want to know if your pass is renewable, it will clearly state renewable on the pass. If it states 2016 on it, it is an old pass and we'll have to remove it.
Once the renewable pass is issued to your vehicle, it's a good practice to write the pass and license plate number down for safekeeping. In the event you need a replacement, such as a broken windshield or a new vehicle, coastal officials can verify your purchase and replace the pass at no charge. All passes expire every year at midnight on December 31st. For more information or to purchase the passes, please visit VolusiaBeachPass.com. And now it's time to go into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, Volusia County Fire Rescue Chief Jeff Smith.
Well, while the holidays are a time of joy and cheer, unfortunately, they're also a time when fire hazards may peak. But there are some fire prevention things we can all do to make sure we keep safe during the holidays. So we have with us today in the studio Chief Jeff Smith of the Volusia County Fire Rescue. Hi, Chief.
How are you, Joanne?
Good. Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome.
So before we get into the specifics about holiday fire safety, give us an overview of what's our current situation right now, because I know we've been kind of dry for the last few weeks.
Well, as a matter of fact, the whole southeastern United States is experiencing somewhat of a drought, and that's that changing weather pattern. But right now for us, even though we've got rain with Hurricane Matthew, we're up around the 300s on the drought indicator. And you know, that goes up to 800 for the max. That's desert conditions. So we've gone from 110 or 105 up to the mid 300s right now. And you saw what's happening out there in Gatlinburg and some of those other places in the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. So luckily we haven't gotten to that, but it's very dry right now. So we want to remind people to be very conscious of that. This is also going to probably lead into an early start of the wildfire season, which typically starts in January. We've had a couple of fires lately that got really out of control quick, so we're starting to see that fire behavior become a little more dangerous. And we would ask that when folks are out doing their decorations that they be mindful of that. And it's a good time while you're up on the ladder to clean out those gutters, because after the storm, a lot of leaves came down that would naturally be falling. So we do have a lot of dead material that is around. Now, you know that the county has gathered a lot of blown down timber and trees that fell and things like that. So a lot of vegetation has been removed, so that's a good thing. However, property owners need to take action, and that is remove that stuff from the roofs and make sure that there's nothing around if they're going to have an outside fire or if they're going to cook with a fryer, which we'll talk about later.
Let's start with holiday lights. You know, the holiday lights are beautiful. We see them everywhere. They're in and they're out, but inside, outside, but they can also be a source of a fire hazard.
They are, and a lot of times the electrical wiring that's being used may not be actually designed for that. So we want to make sure that if folks are going to use outside lights, of course they're going to have to use extension cords. Make sure those extension cords are rated for the amperage that's going to be going through there. Today's lights are LED. We're seeing more and more of that. So if folks are replacing their lights, hopefully they'll buy the LEDs. Those are reasonably priced now. You can string more of those together than we could in the old days. We were talking about how you could only do 2 links of the traditional style lights. LED gives us a safer advantage there of not having the risk from the electricity current that's flowing through there. So just be mindful of that. Don't use nails or staples. I've seen people, and you have too, where they put them up with staples. Not good. Let's use the plastic clips that are manufactured for that purpose and inspect them. If you're going to use those lights over and over again, which I do, you check those out. Make sure the bulbs are all good. Make sure the plastic's in good shape. You don't have any fractures on that. And the wiring is still good. It's not brittle. We store our stuff in the attics here in Florida. It's long. It dries it out. That's a problem. So I'd remind folks to be thinking about that. And just think about it safely whenever they do put them up, especially around a Christmas tree too. That's another practice that needs to be done, because those lights are used year after year after year.
And by the time these trees arrive from usually somewhere up north, they're already kind of dry, and that can pose another fire hazard.
They can be, and actually I read the stats on that. A dry Christmas tree can turn into a fully involved room fire in less than a minute, compared to one that is maintained with water and is still, you know, reasonably green and keeps its flexibility there. But you know, we want to encourage people to enjoy the holiday. They just need to be safe. So if they are going to use a real tree, think about where you place that tree. Think about a 3-foot perimeter, if you will, around any kind of a heat source from the edge of the tree, not the base. And make sure that when you're doing those decorations that you do check the electricity and those connections and wiring to make sure that you're not exposing that tree to a heat source. 210 house fires as a result of a Christmas tree fire a year is the average.
Goodness.
That's nationwide, but it results in over $13 million in dollar loss. That's a lot of financial strain on families. So if we can prevent it, we need to do that.
Yeah, and candles are a festive part of the holiday season, and they also are a cause for a lot of house fires, unfortunately.
They are, and it's funny that you talk about that, but December is the biggest month of the year for candle fires, usually as a result of being too close to decorations. And you know, so many people, we collect more and more decorations, so you can really decorate the house, if you will. You just need to be mindful, if you're going to use a candle in conjunction with any of that, that it is in a stable container or a device or stand that it's designed for, that you don't leave it too close to a combustible product, like maybe you want to be at least 12 inches or further away from something like that. And then if kids are around, you want to be mindful of that, because accidents can happen. We were talking earlier about how there's battery-powered LED candles now that are out there, and they look very real. I've seen them in restaurants. If you go in, the little votive candles that are there on the table, and they're actually flickering, so they've mastered that, and those are very safe, last a long time. We'd suggest that you use that. But if you want to use candles because of the aroma and the feeling of the holiday, just be mindful of that. The 3 most popular days of the year for structure fires as a result of candle use is Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's.
Oh my goodness.
So we're in that season right now.
Yeah, so that should be a message to a lot of people, that if you can get away from maybe using the real candles, those battery ones are a pretty good alternative.
Oh, they're easy. You don't have to worry about blowing them out, and much safer for everyone involved.
So let's talk about cooking safety, because Thanksgiving is not the only holiday of the year where people want to use their turkey fryers. And again, we're talking about safety, and it's another one of those fire hazards and safety hazards if you're not using them necessarily properly.
Well, most definitely. Those have become very popular, and not just for frying turkeys, but you're also having people fry other things this time of the year, shrimp and things like that. When you get the big families together, you want to have a nice selection of food and things like that. But we encourage, if you're going to use that device, that you be very mindful of the amount of oil that you're using, and that you use it on a stable area outside, away from any kind of overhanging structure. So your garage may seem like a nice place to do that. It is not, and neither is your front porch. You need to be out away from the house, where if something happens, you can get away from it completely. So just be mindful of that and practice safety all the time if they can.
And one of the most important things to have in the house is a working fire smoke detector. What are some of the things that you hear about or see in the case of them not working properly?
Well, mostly it's human fault that they don't work properly, and that's either they've been placed in a position where folks take the batteries out, like in the kitchen or right off of the kitchen area, and steam can actually trip some of those. And of course, a lot of, we don't like a lot of noise, but they're there for a reason. So try to be mindful of that. If you've got a hood vent, run that vent so the smoke or the steam is removed from the house, and it won't activate that. But typically it's human error that causes the problem. The fact that they didn't put the battery in, they haven't been tested and operating every year like they're supposed to, and we actually say that you should replace them every 10 years. So even though you've got a wired in system in most houses today, those should be replaced every 10 years.
All right, Chief, so where can people get more information about fire safety?
Well, we would encourage you to go to volusia.org, the county website, and click on services, and you'll find fire rescue right there. Make that choice. You can also call us at any of our 3 office numbers, and we'll be glad to provide you with more information that way as well.
All right, well, Chief Jeff Smith, thank you so much for being here today, and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you, Joanne, and you too, and we hope all the families stay safe out there this year.
All right, Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.